They smiled for the cameras, wore the rings, and sold the fairy tale. Then the clock started ticking. The public saw the edits. The court saw the truth. Here's the turn you didn't expect. The downfall didn't start at the courthouse. It started in the quiet moments when instincts whispered leave and the show said stay. Watch the timeline and the receipts will do the talking. First payoff fast. On November 29, 2022, Kim's marriage to Kanye West ended on paper. The headlines treated it like a season finale. But the real story is how early the cracks began and how long she tried to keep the walls up for 4 kids and a global brand. Rewind for context. Kim's first marriage was a Las Vegas elopement in 2000. It ended in 2004, mostly off camera, almost a practice round for the storms to come. The lesson then was simple. Love isn't a press tour. She would learn it again at a larger scale. Now the wedding everyone remembers. August 20th, 2011. Kim and Chris Humphries walk into a $10 million spectacle like it's a crown. The black and white dress code, the marble, the orchestra, every frame built for syndication. 72 days later, on October 31st, she filed for divorce. That number became a punchline, but the pain was real. Kim later admitted pressure from cameras, contracts, and a production machine that cannot imagine someone saying stop after the invites go out. She said she should have handled it differently and even owed Chris an apology. That's not rumor, that's ownership, and it hits because it fits the timeline perfectly. By April 2013, that story closed. Then May 24th, 2014, Florence, Italy, the next chapter opened with Kanye West. The world wanted this to be the happily ever after. Power couple, 4 kids, fashion weeks, a house that looked like a museum. On the surface, it was symmetry. Behind the glass, it was steady chaos. You saw flashes. Rants turned into trend cycles. Private arguments turned into public events. Kim kept the routine, the shoots, the schedules, the school runs. She held the center until the center was holding her back. In February 2021, she filed. On November 29, 2022, the court drew a line. She didn't torch the past. She drew boundaries. Joint custody, responsibility, divided by calendar and court language. Not romantic, not cinematic, but real life. What she wanted next was simple and radical, peace she didn't have to perform. Now switch to Khloé. Same last name, different war. She met Lamar Odom in August 2009 and married him on September 27th. 30 days from hello to vows. The chemistry was loud. The show followed. For a minute, it worked like a dream. Then the truth arrived wearing late nights and disappearing acts. Addiction crept in like a slow leak that ruins an entire floor. Khloé fought for the marriage. She set lines, offered help, and tried to make home stronger than the storm outside. It wasn't enough. She filed in 2013. In October 2015, Lamar collapsed in Nevada and landed in a coma. Khloé did what a wife does in a crisis. She paused the divorce, became next of kin by necessity, and parked herself in fluorescent hallways praying for better news. That wasn't TV. That was triage. By December 17, 2016, the marriage ended legally. Lamar later admitted infidelity and drug use, the things that turned love into debris. Khloé didn't celebrate. She exhaled. She walked out with a new skill. She could stand upright while the world fell apart on camera. That's the skill she used later with Tristan Thompson. April 2018, days before she gave birth, cheating footage hit the feeds like a siren. She still tried to build a family for her child. Then in late 2021, a paternity case confirmed another child outside the relationship. That wasn't a marriage, but it was a public breakdown big enough to carry the same scars. Both sisters admit what they missed. Kim ignored the gut feelings because momentum can sound like certainty. Khloé believed love could outlast addiction and a double life because her heart needed that to be true. Neither of those choices makes them weak. They make them human in front of millions. There's a pattern if you zoom out. Spectacle, speed, then fallout. The sprint to the aisle, the rush to present perfection. Every time they raced, the bill came due with interest. Interest isn't poetic. It's lawyers, custody calendars, and headlines pinging at 3 a.m. Here's your mid-video reveal. The villain isn't just a person. It's a machine. It's the pressure to perform a private life for public ratings. It's contracts that outvote instincts. It's the lie that being watched equals being loved. When the sisters name it, the stories make new sense. Kim's pivot is quiet. She sets rules like walls. Keep the schedule for the kids. Keep the brand for the team. Keep her heart protected. She learns that saying no to the chaos is a full-time job. Her circle shrinks. Her peace grows. Khloé's pivot is colder and cleaner. She separates roles. A good father can still be a bad partner. You can share birthdays and still lock the door to your heart. Boundaries don't need a speech. They need a spine, and she has one now. Let's talk receipts and dates because this isn't fan fiction. August 20th, 2011 wedding. October 31st, 2011 filing. April 2013 case done. May 24th, 2014 new wedding. February 2021 filing. November 29th, 2022 divorce finalized. September 27th, 2009 wedding. December 17th, 2016 divorce. April 2018 delivery day with a scandal. Late 2021 paternity confirmed. The calendar draws the picture. Public reaction was a pendulum. The 72-day marriage became a meme. The Kanye chapters became cultural wars. Khloé's hospital watch turned strangers into family for a minute. Then the internet asked why she still let Tristan in the frame for the kids. People move on. Court orders and children do not. What about accountability? Kim owns her side. She admits she pushed through when she should have paused. She says, "I should have handled it differently," and that line lands because honesty is rare at that scale. Khloé owns hers. She says the Lamar years prepared her for later storms. She calls it painful education. There's another thread. Both sisters learned to trust the small signals. The crowded hotel room where the air felt thin. The shoes lined up like a parade, reminding her the person beside her was a category, not a partner. The locked phone that explained more than a confession ever could. Small details, big warnings. Money didn't save them. Fame didn't save them. Only decisions did. The courage to file. The patience to co-parent without exploding. The discipline to keep dignity when the other side lit matches for sport. That's not soft power. That's real power. Fans want a neat villain. It would be easy to point and end the video. But the truth needs texture. Kanye's outbursts blew holes in the relationship. Lamar's addiction and cheating did the same. Those are facts. The deeper villain is pace and pressure. The sisters built empires by moving fast and being seen. The fix was moving slow and being safe. The lesson scales. If the timeline in your life only looks good on Instagram, it probably won't survive Monday morning. If you keep sprinting because everyone is cheering, check your shoes. You might be running off a cliff. Kim and Khloé learned this the hardest way possible, with the whole world watching. After all the noise, the goals are simple. Kim wants quiet love that doesn't require a camera. She wants routine that feels like a blessing, not a brand. Khloé wants trust, not damage control. She wants to love without a fire extinguisher in her hand. Those goals sound small until you've lived without them. Here's the human core. Divorce isn't a finale. It's paperwork that lets healing start. Co-parenting isn't weakness. It's a truce for people who didn't ask to be born into a headline. Boundaries aren't cold. They're warm to the person, finally sleeping through the night. Look at the pattern one last time. Speed set the trap. Ego locked the door. Pressure turned the lights down. Then a single honest moment blew the hinges off. I can't do this anymore. That sentence reshaped 2 lives. Not glamorous. Not viral. Effective. If you need proof over poetry, you have it. Dates, filings, and interviews line up. Admissions from the men. Admissions from the women. The arc is real. Fairy tale, fracture, fallout, rebuild. The rebuild is the part that lasts. So who's the hero? The hero is the woman who apologizes to the ex she hurt. The hero is the woman who signs forms at a hospital when it would be easier to run. The hero keeps the birthdays peaceful. The hero tells the truth even when it dents her brand. The hero is the one who walks away clean. Who's the villain? The villain is the machine that says to confuse being watched with being loved. The villain is the sprint. The villain is the voice that says, "One more chance," when the proof says it's over. You beat that villain by slowing down and choosing yourself. If you came for mess, you still got it. But you also got a map. Trust the small signals. Write the dates down. If the house is burning, pick up the kids and the keys and leave. Let the internet talk. Let the papers print. Let peace be the prize. Kim and Khloé opened up, and the picture is clear. The marriages didn't collapse in a day. They eroded by inches until the last inch snapped. The sisters didn't win by yelling loudest. They won by getting precise, going slow, and refusing to be swallowed by a storyline. In a world addicted to spectacle, that's the plot twist. The soft choice was the strong one. The quiet choice was the brave one. The final choice was the right one. And here's the ending that fits everything you just saw. Villain aimed to destroy hero, but ultimately destroy themselves.